Palomos real small there. Weird. faster than that.
Hey Chris,
How you doing, man?
todo bien, papá.
Good, good. Todo bien. Can't complain, man. Breathing, alive, and blessed. I'm trying to get this presentation to show you last minute. Let me see. I think you'll be happy with the progress. Let me see. It's another 5 how's your day been, man?
Man, busy. I'm tired. Usually by 3 o'clock, my energy is already dropping. Uh,
Yeah.
Especially because um, sometimes I do fasting. That's just something that I do. Like I usually I don't get any breakfast. But Thursdays, even
You do
though
like,
I only,
is it intermittent fasting or is it like spiritual fasting? Or
no, no,
both?
intermediate. Yeah.
You do the intermittent fasting, okay.
Yeah, it's just something that I've done pretty much all my life. I don't really like to have like a big breakfast. Sometimes I eat something small, maybe a fruit or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes Thursdays, we are so busy that I don't even have time for lunch. So it's almost like a 24-hour
I was
fasting.
fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's actually pretty good. I mean, I like it, but I sometimes feel like the energy is
Yeah, it
starts to
drops.
go down a little
You
bit.
know, you don't take any protein shakes or nothing. You just,
Some vitamins, no, and no protein shakes, nothing like that. It's just, and I heard that it was actually pretty good. There are some studies actually showing that your body, when it goes to like preservation mode when you're fasting, well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but sometimes people develop cancer cells normally. Like you don't need to have cancer to
no,
actually
yeah,
have cancer cells.
yeah.
Your body starts basically trying to preserve the energy, but also start looking for those
The
cells.
radicals, is it
Yeah, those
ketosis? Is it,
cells.
yeah, ketosis or something? Yeah,
Yes.
when you go into the fasting, you're supposed to be healing for your body. Your body starts getting up the radicals to make it
Yes.
process more efficiently because you're in this fasted state.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a gordo to be like that, man. I like my arroz con gandule and I like my bread. One day, maybe one day.
Yeah. I don't do it every day, but sometimes when I do it is,
You feel good. You feel good. Well, that's why you
yeah.
look good, man. You're still thin too. You look good. You'll be thin forever, especially if you're eating for 24 hours. Ay, Dios.
Yeah.
That's a long time. All right. Well, let's see what this thing at. Let me see. This is what the presentation is first. I guess that's it. Okay. So what this is, it's trying to just break down what we have, like platform status, where we are right now, what's live that I'm getting ready to show you, right? So it is live. It's not, it's live, it's semi-live. People don't have access to the stuff that we have, but there's going to be a page on this where we can have, this is like anecdotal, but still cool. You can see where your viewership is coming from, right? So it's built into the dashboard panel. So we'll have that. The public website is there. The admin dashboard has been updated. Site analytics is tracking. Paloma Voice, that whole personality piece, we're working on that implementation. This is your feedback track. So that was great feedback, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Great
that's
feedback. Very thorough.
starting. Of course, we get to start with step one. And I
Yeah,
think that, yeah. So, later on we can get a little bit more picky about it, but, that's a really, really good starting point.
yeah. So the things this thing was talking about, this is kind of jumping around a little bit, but we need to start the LLC, actually form the LLC. All right.
Mhm.
And then trademark applications, I guess with Paloma, we can probably do that later, but eventually the trademark applications, provisional patent application, once we get this thing really rolling. The HIPAA compliance piece too, I get the framework. There's different APIs and people that I can go through. We have a ERD. We have a system that does that as well. I just haven't had time to talk to my colleagues that she's on like some type of sabbatical or something. But when she gets back tomorrow, hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have clarity on that about how to make it HIPAA compliant. But we're right around the corner from it.
Cool.
And
And that's the most important piece, quite honestly. Everything is very important. However, in
yeah,
order to just test it, the HIPAA compliant is probably the most important thing.
yeah,
I get the whole legality thing, but I mean, I'm just saying before we start spending money in all legal fees and like all this stuff, just having like a prototype ready
got
so that
you.
we can,
Okay,
so that we can probably just test it out a little bit here and there because we will
okay,
have to have plenty of time to start talking to people, especially like my colleagues. So
okay.
it's not going to happen in a week. I need to sit down with them and explain to them, hey, this is a project and blah blah blah, so they understand and they're willing to, hopefully join us as far as beta testing goes.
Yeah,
Because
beta testing it, but
sometimes
we have
people
to have
are a
the,
little,
I got you. But we have to have the HIPAA compliance piece in place because if not, none of this works anyway. I got you.
yeah,
I will figure that out. So there's an API. So the two ways that I'm seeing this, if I can get my team, this lady involved, then we would have it built in. I think that she would buy in and the money would come on the back end of it. She would play. If it's the other services that people use, like Dentex or something, there's a whole bunch of ones that you can use as storage that are specifically made for this. They charge you the API. I don't know how much yet, but I know there's going to be like a charge for it. But either way, we can get it to work. It's just
sure.
about I think how much money we want to invest in it up front to be able to if we have to pay for that API for that, but we have to because we have to have that HIPAA clearance, that piece. Well, let me show you. I don't have time to vet this, man. But let me show you what we've done so far in a better way, and then
By the way, did you understand what I was talking about, like the KPIs as far as the specialty goes?
to keep
Uh,
from, yeah, because it'll change based on the specialty. It'll shift what those metrics should be. So there should be a drop down. So
yeah.
all the reference material, everything you can give me that because it'll help me establish those pieces and those
Mhm.
frameworks. And then it'll take me a little time to flesh that out, but hopefully the dashboard is looking a lot more like what you had envisioned.
What I
Also,
will do is I will give you the KPIs for each one of the specialties and GPs.
okay,
And perhaps something that we can do is that will be like a default. They can select from a drop down or maybe just go to settings and select, hey, I'm a GP. So we'll give you the default for, that part, benchmarks, if you will.
yep.
However, they might be willing to just go in there and change, like
They can
for
edit. Yeah, you can edit. So we'll populate
exactly.
something for you instantly, but you still have the ability to edit the thing. We're not forcing you. We're just helping you to get there to say, hey, based on the industry standards, this is what it would be normally. If you want to adjust it, got you.
Cool. Yeah.
Got you. So right. First of all, you can log in now to this, but put admin controls on this, so because it's getting a little more serious. So you log in with your email address, and then the password. I'll send you this is going to be Paloma1, the capital P, Paloma1. I'll send you this in email though, but it allows you access to get into this. Now the dashboard has changed a little bit, so we have the yesterday, today, tomorrow. We're trying to find all that cadence that you were saying that people are kind of used to in this
Uh-huh.
particular industry. So you have your morning huddle, you play with it, but just to kind of go over, I'm just showing you quickly what the updates have been. The schedule's still kind of the same. All right, you'll be able to see it today, this week, this month. The appointments is still nice. You can see what's all pending, confirmed, so you can still, that kind of makes sense to go through. Your action items, I think that works. That's cool. Recall, confirm claims. See your patients, of course. Easy stuff, low-hanging fruit. Your scorecards, all as you start, as we have the information, this will populate. So monthly production, collection rate. So you have some of that reporting in here too. And then with Paloma AI, total conversations. This is the interesting part. We can start seeing things that, should have been aggregated, but people don't have time necessarily. But the conversations she's having, the sequence, what language, the book references, how productive she's being as an employee, basically.
Mm.
And then also site analytics so that we can tell, how many people have seen the page, where they're coming from, average viewership, traffic sources, locations, just it's nice to have. And all this is built into one panel. And then the financial component piece where you really start digging into the practice. And maybe this could be specific too. If we should always start with basis. Everything is editable, but if there's certain things that people are going to charge for based on what their practice is, this could probably be updated as well, right? To give them a starting point and but still have the flexibility to edit. But then we have this in here, and then we have the practice setup, right? Which was a really cool. It was a
That's
really
cool.
cool idea. So the idea of having the website scan, so you could do your whole piece and you have the website scan where you can put your URL in, right? And it'll basically scrape and pull your information. Dude, this shit was just fire. They're gonna love that. That's fire. You can almost start with that. Like, just give me your name.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right. They're gonna my AI when my AI saw that shit, man, I got all these like fireworks were going off. Like it was like he's a super provider. We're gonna make it out. I was like, okay, calm down, calmate. But yeah, that was they really liked that. So then you go through the web scan and you can just still define your services. This is where you start, this is where the breakdown begins to happen. I almost feel like we could, in a way, if I was selling this to somebody, I would probably start with that, like as a the practice wizard. Again, sequencing and how
Yeah.
we tell the story, but it makes sense. Like, hey, just welcome. Paloma would start and she would be the practice setup wizard and be like, hey, tell me who you are and walk you through these steps. And then based upon this, it basically builds the dashboard. Like it's a pre-dashboard builder, right?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
So
saying? So it goes through. And then the same thing with your team. You can establish your team, all these connections, right? The insurances. I gotta pull these dialog boxes out. I don't know why I did that, but
can you
you
upload pictures for the team and those kind of things? I mean, that sounds silly. I know it's not the best time to ask the question, but
No, Eric Papi, of course it is.
yeah,
No, we should, right? That's a great idea. The CBs right now, they should be because I already have the pictures. There should be pictures. There should be the images of your employees, so we know. Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy update. We can definitely do that because we already have them in the website.
okay.
Same thing with the trade. Then that's what's cool about this. You can add and you can subtract, but you have the ability to modify these things once you get into your dashboard, or you should. And the insurance is the same way, your financing options. And this could be more robust too about, what we select. And it probably needs to be a little bit more thoughtful since it's talking about money. But it's the idea that we can control it in some way and compartmentalize it so it becomes part of the dash, right? Part of your setup.
So
And then,
that part right there would require maybe like a add insurances or in network provide services, if you will.
okay.
But you're in network with Delta or whatever, just having like a plus sign there, add your
Plug,
insurance.
plug, 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 plug. Okay.
Yeah,
So there'll be standard ones that we have, we'll have them listed. And the ones that you have, we can just kind of tick, 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 tick. That's what just okay.
yeah,
Easy. And then if there's ones that we're not aware of, we'll have add others, and you could put others, and we'll
yeah.
allow them for the flexibility. So that's easy to do. We'll fix that.
And
And then,
maybe we can just have like the same thing, like maybe the major insurance providers that they can
yeah,
just click from there. So it's easier. They don't have to type it. And
yeah,
it's just like, just click, 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 click. And so the AI starts getting all that information.
beautiful. Okay.
What
And
is
then
that?
personality, right?
Okay.
That was important. Like, so how do you want to be greeted? How do so now you have the ability to kind of control, like, what is your greeting going to be? Like, hola, I'm Paloma. You don't like that, that it could be Guten Morgen, I'm Paloma. Whatever you want it to be. You can, and then language defaults right now, because, how we got to do is English and Spanish, but it really could be in anything that you want it to be.
Okay.
That's the amazing part of it. So you can control that. You could also control the voice style. In some ways, Paloma doesn't. Paloma could be anything. But you could really create your own. I started thinking, even though I love the idea of Paloma and it reminds me of one of my tias, but that's for me selfishly, right? But it really could be anything that you want it to be. And
I
if
was
I'm
going to
selling
say,
this,
yeah,
right, if you sell it
they
to
can pick and
somebody,
choose a name if they wanted to differentiate or whatever.
whatever. I don't care. If you want to make it look like your TT, that's fine, right? You can call it whatever you want, whatever's comfortable for you. And then so it would give the people the ability to craft their own avatar in here. So I love Paloma as an acronym, and I'm on this whole acronym thing too right now. But yeah, it could be anything. I think Paloma is really more symbolic in that because it's a cool acronym, but it's the dove. That is Paloma, really the dove in the tooth. And then the avatar is something that you create.
Mhm. Exactly.
And people will love that. You can even take a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
Hey,
Customize, basically, you can customize your own
you can
virtual employee.
customize your own worker, right? Because this is basically what we're doing. You're creating an employee. So now
Correct.
you get to craft your employee, craft their, the setting, giving them humor. You want to have a dry employee, or when she talks to you, sometimes she tells a joke. Like, I ain't got time for that. You can make it anything, anything that you want it to be, right? It's the ability to create this perfect, as perfect can be employee for yourself. And people will get off on that. It's almost like it starts getting like weird science, right? And then notifications, this is the basic stuff, right? Where you can just after hours alerts, morning summary emails, just some place where you can a control center where you can control all this stuff.
Mhm.
And then activate, configure summation, so save, act, and active. Yeah, so this is just making sure once you have all these things, it's just your save, I guess, to activate it and to launch. So that should probably go first, and it steps people through in the easiest way. And then
Right.
the avatar becomes something that they can create themselves. And then once that's done, it populates the real dashboard. The dashboard then shifts. I mean, some of these things are going to be static, like monthly production, collections, new patients, case acceptance. But as it gets down to the more granular specifics of each speciality, things change, right? Things would
Yeah.
change, scorecards would change potentially, right? And then I don't know, I guess appointments and things would be the same, action items. But the idea is that things would shift based on your selections intelligently, with still allowing you the ability to have agency and still edit if you would like. And all this happens through the website, right? This is all through the website that right now, this is built in a system. You can sell this as a system, right? So you give
Mhm.
them this piece, or it could be the widget, but this is nice as a system because you're selling them something that, it's the holistic piece that makes it really powerful.
Impressive, man. That's a great improvement, man. You have been working hard, Chris. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, a couple of things now. As far as, for example, if I'm a user and I have my website, maybe like setting up some sort of instructions there somehow if I want to, take Paloma to my website as a chatbot or something like that.
As a widget, to bring it in as imported as a widget to connect. Yeah.
Right, but how to do it for the user. So maybe we can just have it somewhere over there. I don't know if it is, and this is something that is out of my scope, but if it is going to be very different in between, different website hosts. So WordPress, or maybe Wix, maybe Weebly, depending on what they have, if the instructions are going to be different.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. And then also just the because right now what makes this capable is we control the environment, right? Everything is ours. It can be made into a widget, but the way that it should be, we should, it's just we're looking for specific pieces of information, and that they have to be whoever we talk to, we're working with. The system that we give to them has to be able to connect to the database. It has to have instructions or directions to be able to connect to their data, and the data has to be arranged in a certain way
Mhm.
that our system can digest. Does that make sense?
It will be really cool, and this is a work in progress for later, but it will be really cool to make it like cloud, because cloud you can pick connectors. So if you have like a set of connectors saying like, okay, this is my host, maybe it's Wix.
Hmm.
So you click there, and then the connector, if you just, basically log in with your information, password, username, whatever, you can connect Paloma directly to that specific server or
Gotcha.
whatever
Okay.
that is. That would be super cool because that way you don't have to do anything. You just connect. Pick the one that you're, hosting your
And
website.
it works, and it basically it translates all that for you and digests all the information, and then says here, toma, right? And this is what it's going to be. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful.
That's what I do with, for
Yeah.
example, Claude. And I have a patient section called patient info. So
Hmm.
Claude automatically logs into my website and it starts putting a couple of topics there for the blog. So it ranks better in the SEO in Google,
Yeah.
because it's constantly
Up.
updating the information in my website. But Claude is doing that automatically. And so it will be the same way that you connect that. It will be super cool if we can connect Paloma and just click done and it's connected. Go ahead and try it. So I go to my website and Paloma's already there. So that's like mind blowing. But I don't know. I mean, is that's wishes, and the other thing is implementation. I understand that.
Oh
Um,
man, let's try to do it. I didn't. Yeah, let's try. I'll ask. I'll start playing with it. I guess the way my brain is, the complexity of it, and AI can do a lot of processing. Though is that it needs when I'm telling it to digest this piece of information, the information needs to be in a certain stack in certain order. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like if we're creating an Excel spreadsheet and it needs to know like from this cell in this row what it's supposed to be. And if it's not there or there's a deviation in the data context, it corrupts the cycle and can create issues. It's just that it had to be another layer of intelligence to sift through that, to basically take their information and then put it in the correct format that's digestible to Paloma. It's
Because
just
even right
another.
now, if I tell you, Chris, let's go ahead and try it right now. So, I mean, what you will have to do is manually go to my API, set it up. So I don't
And then
know.
I would scrape. So right now, the way that I would do it, I'd have to have rights and permission to get their information. I would scrape, and then I would effectively build it. We would build it for them right now, the way the model is. It's not smart enough to just give somebody where it can just proliferate. Right? It's slow. It would still depend on us to take it in, and it doesn't take long, right? It would take me a day to do it for everybody, but still, right now it's a semi-manual process of data acquisition, taking that stuff, saying, okay, getting my head wrapped around how they're organizing it, then say, okay, well, that's your format. This is what my format needs to be, changing it, programming the AI to understand that. And like you said, it's going to be different probably from practice to practice. Now, hopefully, if people are using a certain cadence and there's certain softwares that are just like AutoCAD is for us, it's just there, it'll give us a similar a baseline, of like, a logic system. But for everybody that you deal with, it's probably going to be a little different. But I
A
can
little
work on
different.
it, man. I mean, that's to me that because if we can figure that out and it's deploy,
Yeah.
that's that's scary good, right? That's where you can like, oh, just play. If you want to play with it, I give you a 30-day trial. Just connect it, and she pops up like, hey, I know you. I know you better than you know you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, hey,
Or, I mean, if it works really good in terms of the website, like if it might be something that if is easier to connect with our website editor, then people might say, screw my old one, I will migrate everything like my domain to Paloma so everything works seamlessly. And that's the your option. So people, I feel like a lot of people are going to go that way.
yeah, especially once because Paloma's one thing, but then the mouth map, the ability to pull that information and that changes, that takes it to another level. But it doesn't have to be part of this, but that because this is just your admin side. This is not even like really diving into like the patient portal side and what they see. Like once you have, yeah, that's gonna be amazing. And that's the thing too. If they don't have that infrastructure, if the dental practice doesn't, if they're not doing digital scans, you can't do that, right? So part of what this in my mind is the widget is the soft sell, but the real idea is this buying into a new way of practice of creating digital twins and 3D scans, because that's what really, this is cool, and this is, you can still have this, and this is awesome. It really is. But for the patient experience, the patient doesn't care about this piece so much,
Oh,
right? This is for us.
exactly.
This is for the practitioner, and ultimately, it's still a service-based business. You got to keep people happy. That's the mouth map part. To be able to interact and understand in a different way. That's when it's going to make people want to come to the practice. Not make the practice easier for, but make people want to, they'll fall in love. It's change to me. That's what changes dentistry, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So right now in the patient section, if you go there, you can pick a patient and upload the info. Like is there like an attachment sort of
So if you go to patient,
attachment
yeah,
that
right,
file?
yeah, and right now, no, and that's what we need to build because these are just right now. These are just shells. It shows that there are containers waiting, but then there needs to be a profile, right? So we would go into this, be able to click on them, and then you would basically. But then I need to know what is this? What is the data set? What containers am I building for them? Like, is it teeth 230? Oh, I know obviously all the teeth, but what else are you assessing for each patient? What are the containers? And then once I have that, and then we can really start playing, right? But I
Okay,
can
maybe
build that. But even without that, I can still build that infrastructure if you just give me the language and things that we have, so that it's just waiting for real data. Does that make sense?
yes, absolutely. Do you need that from me? Like, do you want me to give
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, just send me that. Yeah, send me an email, man.
So KPIs, container for patients,
Yep.
and then chat history. So
Chat
when
history.
somebody goes to the website for the owner or the admin or whoever that is to be able to go there and see what happened. Like, hey, you got a contact there. This is the potential new patient, but you need to have like a chat history of what the conversation was
Conversation was, yeah.
in a notification that there was somebody actually talking to Paloma that you can enable or disable, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
and even with the AI, as long as they put their once they put their names in, it's trained where it creates a container automatically. So when you're dealing with Paloma, as soon as you say, "Hey, I want to create what's your name?" As soon as you say what's your name and what's your number, you have a profile. Your profile is started, right? So in that way, it should be in theory you should be able to use Paloma to pull something up and say, query all the conversations with Aisha Williams, and if there's two Aisha Williams, then we have to add the social, right? Or whatever specific item. Maybe we just put a customer number, right? But then everything that's associated with that should both
Okay.
with Paloma and then also too, not just with Paloma, with people that are interacting, the humans that are interacting with other humans because it'll be the same social, it'll be the same tag. So all the content, if they're using the same system, then everything is aggregated. So literally, you would, what you deal. So literally, for each page, you'd be able to click on it, right? You would have this profile. It should be able to kick out not only their basic information about their dental health, but also their financial history, what's going on with their share. All those things could be stacked into this, in addition to all the conversations that you've had with them, at least that have been recorded, right? All the correspondence. It's always there, and it's always updated. Every time you have it automatically just adds it to it, so you can go back and say, "Hey, well, last year we had this specific," and you can see it, and it's tracked everything
Yeah,
for
yeah.
everybody, and it becomes transparent. Then we can also set controls on that between what you see as the big boss, the one controlling the entire system at the head, and then as we step down to your tiers, what staff sees, right, from their side. And then also
But
you,
I think it will be important to keep it separated from active patients because otherwise the list is going to go on and on and on. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to contact the practice. They're going to have a little chat with Paloma, but they might not become active patients. Maybe you will never see them.
yeah,
So, patients to me as a clinician is active patients. So what I'm thinking is Paloma, you can connect that to your PMS, your software, and you can pull all the patients to Paloma. And now you have a profile for all the active patients. And then on a separate section, you can have um,
attention,
conversations or
yeah.
whatever that is, maybe chat history or whatever that is. And so whenever that person comes to the practice, then they need to have a chart, and then you can pull it as an active patient from the management software.
The manager's software.
That's why I see it. I see like a little separated because otherwise you're gonna have a million patients from which, maybe X little
Yeah,
percentage is active, like
actually getting serviced. Yeah, but it could be one of those things where as long as there's a filter to kick in between them, right? Like there should be active patients or potential patients, right? Where I can filter through it. But it's nice to kind of have them in those synergies. However you want to do it, it would be solid. It wouldn't just be one continuous list, but the idea is that you should be able to query, right? You should be able to query between who's just looking, who's curious, and who's dating, right? Who's coming
Mhm.
in like spending money. But
Yeah.
in some ways too, like I would every obviously they're all potential customers, right? So even in those lists, even though they're not active, there would be things that we can set up. If they came and I would talk out a cracked tooth, even if they didn't come to you, you could potentially set things up through this system. It could still be split, but you would set things up to the system where Paloma emails them, "How's your tooth doing? We were just checking to make sure that you're okay."
Mhm.
Stuff like that, and
Follow
it's
up.
aggregated.
Follow
So
up.
yeah, follow-ups for patients that aren't your patient. Just
Yeah.
human follow-ups to say, "Hey, hope everything is okay. If not, our services are still available. Wouldn't it be great if you can see your cracked tooth in 3D? Ha ha ha. Hope you feel better."
Mhm.
Like it's kind of this. So that database is rich, right? Because how many patients? Think about all the follow-up and things like that. And stuff like, all right, I've had this horrible time. I'm just gonna go there. Fuck it. And they're following up allomas. I mean, come on, like it could potentially, to me, it could really explode the patient base, right? Because you have this constant thing, unless somebody just blocks paloma, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But either
It's
way, whether it's a query or whether it's two individual like clear containers, I think we can definitely separate the people that are actually patients and paying from potential.
cool, man.
And with profile too, this is the part too, man. If people are willing, like I think a picture goes a long way to be able to associate, a face, especially for me, man. I'm horrible with names. I got to see you and meet you 1,000 times, right? Um, it'd be great to have the faces here.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe even the patients can upload their own picture.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be the whole point. Upload your own picture. Yeah,
Hmm.
giving them agency and power to control your profile. Run it through a beauty filter if you think you're too ugly. You don't gotta, it doesn't have to be the generic picture that we get. You have agency, you have control over this, right? And so not all of your persona, of your mouth, of your health, that and eventually, like in my mind's going, not is your mouth health, but your body health. It'll be this we're creating digital twins of people.
Yeah. Also, as profiles are being built, maybe the possibility of sharing that profile of a patient, if I'm working this case with an oral specialist, let's say an oral surgeon, that you can share that profile directly to them. So
Absolutely.
see, that's how you
Absolutely.
build a network.
That's
And it
it.
doesn't really necessarily have to be somebody that is using Paloma. Maybe you're just using that information for one case, but then in their mind it's like, damn, this is cool. Now you have a potential customer. Yeah.
How'd you do this? Oh, let me show you Paloma.
Yes. So I have this service, man. You just gotta, you go here with this website, pay it, worth it, and then they become like, people that you don't just share the profile, you actually can pull into your software. That will be, it's like intercommunication. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, because it starts breaking down the silos, right?
Yeah.
It
And that
starts
way I don't
breaking.
have to tell, because that is the employee part. I don't have to tell my, team member to, hey, just send this x-ray, send this information to the specialist, and they have to manually go there instead of like just go to the patient, share profile, and they get an email or they get a
Poppy,
notification.
the whole nation would be like this, and clients would be like this, right? Because it saves everybody time. The most precious thing that we actually have. It's not money, it's time, right? Because it's finite. It saves us time and makes us more efficient, right? Because then it promotes like you need to be part of this network because it's going to make your life easier too. It makes it easier to understand what's going on with the patient. To keep, like, at the end of the day, we're trying to provide a service and help people. So it helps us do that better. It also makes the process more transparent for the patient, right? Because we're literally creating a map. In my mind, I don't know what's the mouth, but literally of the body so that we
Yep.
can all see. Everybody can spin this body around, get on the profile and spin the mouth around and see these things and even be able to see surgeries before they happen or plan out
You're
surgeries.
While you're recording this meeting, are you like getting the summary of what we're talking about? Because I'm taking notes and I
Oh,
don't
dude, I'm
know.
recording this. Yeah, I'm recording this.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes, I might forget and then I will be like, oh shoot, we
Oh
talked
no,
about
yeah, yeah. Everything is yeah. All these meetings are recorded and yeah. We have this forever. This
the
is
smart man.
brainstorming. This is the fun stuff. This was
Yes,
brainstorming.
exactly. That's why you know how to do it, man. You get me super hyped, and I'm actually fasting. So
Okay.
okay. Yeah, sharing chat history. Yeah, to me, I think the most important part right now, as far as the first step, is KPIs and chat history and
Yeah.
the containers for patients so you can start building. Obviously, the sharing part is cool, all that stuff, but like in order to get
The
it going,
basics. Yeah,
get it
yeah,
to work,
yeah.
those are the three major
And the
things.
HIPAA compliance, and I got to get the
Oh
HIPAA.
yeah, yeah, and the
That's
HIPAA.
yeah. Without that, nothing really. Yeah, yeah. But that's doable. I just got to figure out what the money's going to be. I was trying to get it done for free on faith through these people, but you know how that goes sometimes. But I'm still hopeful. She's at like a spiritual retreat, but she's one of those chicks, and they have a big nonprofit. That's the whole thing is about supporting people through their coalition. So I'm hoping that they'll see this and also like it's not just about the money. It's like I'm trying to like trying to change dentistry and try to really not just dentistry in my mind, healthcare, how people
Yeah.
perceive their bodies and they're able to maintain their health and also how healthcare practitioners across the board it helps break down silos. So even if you're not a, even if you're not into, you're a dental surgeon and you're an orthopedic surgeon, you say, oh, what's up with this? And you click that and it's, oh shit, that's interesting, you know? Because it's still part of the body and ultimately everything is connected. I think it begins to break down these silos. It'll change technologies like this. And it's not just us. There's a startup in California that's doing body mapping. They're submerging people in water and they're using a technology like sonar in order to create a body map. And it's in the same spirit, but I'm trying to do it so I don't want to do it by ourselves. And it's the idea that you create a team to be able to do it piece by piece and you make a tool so powerful and compelling that they're like, yeah, that makes sense for me too. And they push it out for you. So you don't have to come just to me, you come to everybody. Like eventually everybody you go to, whether it's Paloma or whatever, eventually this is how healthcare is going to be.
Yeah. No, you're building in piece, yeah, piece by piece, and then all of a sudden becomes,
Yeah.
yeah, one thing. That's crazy. That is very cool, man. Very cool. The website editor right there is where people can go and start like basically literally just editing things, or right now is not po well, no, it's not possible, right?
I Anything is possible, Puppy. This is
Okay.
this is this is trying to move in the direction of making it more WordPress like, right? Where you can kind of that's where I feel like so how does somebody go in and have the ability? So that's where it's moved. This is the first iteration of that, right? So right now it's
But do
just
you think that's overkill though? Like, I don't know if like the best strategy could be using somebody else API that is dedicated to this, because they might have more elegant platforms, more options. So for example, Wix or Weebly or one of those, they
yeah,
can
yeah,
contribute.
and I think that's the spirit. If we create the widget and the widget is smart and connects to whatever they have, it won't really matter anyway, right? Because then they already have the Wix, so they already have this interface that's simple and they
Yeah.
can go through.
You can sort of open it from there. So like that
Yeah,
window, if you connected, then you can pull like the website within the website. You know,
yeah,
maybe I'm just thinking too crazy here, but
no.
like maybe I can access Wix without having to exit Paloma, or it just takes me to another window, whatever that is. By just going from there, edit, like if it was everything in one place. I'm just
I hear what you're
trying.
saying. Yeah, yeah, it would be great if it aggregated. That's what we're trying to do in the same. We're trying to break down silos. So if this thing can connect with the platform to whatever platform you have and pull it into this interface so that, okay, I need to make an edit. You click on it. I'm still staying in Paloma, but it opens up your Wix or it opens up your
Yeah.
WordPress inside of Paloma. And you can go in and make the edits and say saved and done. You kick back, but you never leave the Paloma workspace.
Yeah, okay, because if you try to build something like that, I feel like it's just going to consume a lot of your energy and a lot of your like capability in something that is already developed. And we don't have to compete in website developments, you know. W-
Yeah.
we should just somehow partner with them in a way.
Yeah, we don't have to fight them. Everybody can eat. I guess to me, I guess what I was trying to do is again, I'm trying to create I'm trying to create a system that I can control, right? So like with the like very because to be able to play with everybody and like it's more sophisticated programming, right? Because you have to be able to understand the nuances and the differences, but then still curate them back to a language that you same in the same spirit that you understand.
Mhm.
And also the initial thing was to create, even though the more we talk about having the widget and how it just especially if you can get it to tie in, it just knows, and then it's like why what that's all you need. But the idea was also to create a platform, right, to be able to sell this platform to people to say, hey, buy into this whole. I'm thinking out loud too, so if it's stupid, it's okay. But buy into this platform because it's really this holistic system
Yes.
that it's your system, but not really, because this is a more elegant way of organizing the information. And also your finances too, right? They'd be able to pull these things in. It would be nice in a perfect world, in my mind, it would be great that if you just had, raw financial information in Excel, you don't have to use QuickBooks anymore. Like this becomes your QuickBooks, right? I mean, we could connect to QuickBooks, but it would be nice if people had one tool. Like it would be nice for once. I don't have to have four or five different things going on and four or five different prescript. Even if you just paid Paloma, you paid this service, and then through Paloma, we went out and aggregated and got the other services. But I just want to pay one bill. I want to pay one bill and know what that one bill is going to be, and not have to worry about all these multiple providers and service providers. If I could just pay one mic, and I know it's everything is taken care of, that becomes priceless to me.
Yeah,
Um,
when you start getting customers, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, you can always negotiate with, the people and let's say QuickBooks, and you can always say, hey, we have all these people using this, so maybe we can integrate it in a way that works. It's a win-win situation.
for
And,
everybody.
they do it all the time. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, in dentistry, all these management softwares right now, what they're doing is they're integrating AI voice. So when somebody's calling, they record it, and the AI is analyzing the conversation. They will give you some feedback as far as, hey, basically a summary of the conversation, but some feedback in terms of like, this is the most important part. How do you do? Sometimes those programs or that software will actually rank you, and it will say, hey, 1 out of 10, Chris, you did 7. Maybe you should improve this when you're talking to patients. Those kind of things. It's getting crazy. And one of those is actually, it's still good, but it's not excellent. One of those is called Mango AI, and they have API. So would it be cool for Paloma to integrate with something like that? So you get the information from everything
Yeah.
that's on the phone, conversation wise,
Yeah.
the management software, like it's like a brain, because it's the whole information is there, and then Paloma can follow up via text message, via
Yeah.
email.
Yeah.
You pick and choose what you want, and that will be mind blowing, man. That's just like, I'm thinking out loud here, because what I'm trying to do is, I'm thinking about Paloma like the centralized version of how your practice should operate. So I'm thinking phones. I'm thinking who's going to be following up with text messages, emails. Who is going to be the manager of finances?
Mm.
So just that single tool right there. So human interaction is just to basically analyze the information that Paloma is giving you and make decisions out of it. Um, that's how I envision that. It's like the brain of
It's
the
the
practice.
brain. Yeah, it's the operations center, right? It's helping manage everything and allowing you to do what you need to do to practice dentistry and to be
Yeah.
connected to people. And all these things are spinning in the background.
Yeah. Even like websites. So where part of that is marketing. So, okay, your website, maybe Paloma eventually can do like Claude, just, hey, give me a couple of topics and I will update your blog so you rank better in SEO. That by itself, mind blowing. Dentists don't know anything about that, man. But if you sell them the package of like, this does this, and that,
And dude, that's easy. That's yeah, that would be a given, right? Like yeah, so as you
take my money, man.
if you buy into this process, then you get it's not working yet, but yeah, we'll have SEO, search engine optimization is it's a no-brainer. If you don't have like I was serious about the whole merch, like the merch thing, it seems like look, merch is marketing, right? You can buy a beautiful shirt, you can buy all these things would be basically instant. You give us your brand, you have a logo, all that stuff is branded for you. And then also, if you don't have an Instagram page, this is stretching a little bit, but doable. If you don't have profiles and you're interested in that, we can create a profile and Paloma can basically run it for you. All right. She could become your Instagram. She could become basically your was it a publicist? She becomes your person that's going your promoter. It's going out there. She's doing all these things. And the more information she has about you, but the more she works, the better she gets because she has more information.
Yes. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy, crazy.
No, dude. I mean, not just with this industry. It's happening everywhere.
It is happening. You saw what I sent you, right? Because these people, they have a similar concept, but it's not quite similar, because what they're doing is just a receptionist.
It's a
Basically,
receptionist. Yeah, this is
yeah.
yeah. This is which is cool, but we're trying to do like you said, the whole. You're looking at the entire system. How much of this can we get help with? How much of this can be automated and how come
Yeah.
and
And
you
I
help.
think, by the way, I think they're doing the quite opposite of what we are thinking here.
Mm,
Because from my standpoint, from my point of view, Paloma is very cool on the background, but the human touch when the patient gets to the office, they're expecting, in my point of view, they're expecting the human touch. They're not expecting to check out with a robot because it feels very cold. I like a robot. Why? I want a person that I can talk to. Yeah, I can check in using the iPad and everything, but like just the experience of just like, hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the practice. We have the iPad ready for you. You can fill out your information. That human interaction is what is different. I think they're doing the opposite. They're building like no interaction and not thinking about like what is it that you actually need AI for, which is the background, in my point of view.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be able to serve and facilitate the human experience,
Yeah,
right?
because
And that,
that's what
but
is going to happen. AI is going to get pretty much everywhere.
everywhere.
And I think what is going to be missing is that human interaction. People are going to miss just a smile from a person, something that it feels less corporate, less
Yeah,
like
genuinely.
cold.
But the whole spiritual thing about us connecting and being these living and sentient beings, yeah, what's gonna happen first is people going there'll be a lot of jobs lost. That's what's getting ready to happen.
Yep.
It's you see it, right? It's gonna happen. Um, and then people are gonna it's going to get bad for a little bit, but I think people are going to realize that, everybody has to eat and that, yeah, these things are nice and we can automate these systems, but that we still need people, that people will crave people until they start making sex bots. Then we're in trouble, right? But people need people, right? And that
Yeah.
you need this human connection. And that hopefully these technologies people won't have to do the work they don't want to do anymore. The things that sucked, right? Some things suck and you need that in your life, but the things that were like these jobs that were, hopefully it will allow us to elevate as a species. I think honestly, man, I told you this before. I think these technologies are going to kill capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, man. I don't know where that is gonna go. It can go real good or real bad.
Oh, real bad.
I think you're in the right mindset of like thinking very positive in terms of like, like Elon Musk was saying, maybe universal income for everybody because, at the end of the day, all this can work for humans and then humans can have a really good life and doing whatever they actually want to do and working what they want to do, which is going to be the nicest thing. On the other hand, damn, man. Yeah, sometimes I worry like, hey, by the time that Elon creates this Optimus robot and they're able to do pretty much everything, including being policemen, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know how that's gonna go.
But it's one of those things, I guess, growing up too, and like growing up half minority at least, we never had much agency and power in those areas anywhere, right? So if it's the robot or the human, they were still treating us shitty, right? At least me, like I don't know. I think that when jobs are lost, like probably with these technologies, you probably lose two of the girls that are working with you at least, right? That's going to happen across the board in all these different industries, and in white collar positions where people aren't used to not having money, we're going to have to it's going to have to be welfare. It's going to have to be universal income if you keep capitalism alive, because everybody needs money to spend to keep it going.
Yeah.
I don't have any money to spend to kick back into the system. So, and money, what is money? We lost the gold standard. It's really just printed paper. It's an illusion. It's
Yeah.
illusionary,
Fairy
right?
tales, I
So
know.
we just print some more, give them monopoly money. So they pass go and they go around the board and they play it until we realize that it was silly. Even
Yeah.
when it was based on, even gold, we can't eat or drink it. It does have some properties for, it's conductive and it lack, but you could use it as fillings maybe. But
Yeah.
other than that, you can't eat or drink. It was just pretty,
That's exactly right.
right?
Yeah.
It was always at the end of the day, it was always the people. It was always us that were doing the things for ourselves, and that was just the incentive to trick us to do the things that we didn't want to do for other people to get them to do it for us. But I think these things are going to help elevate us and realize that yeah, we don't have to do the shit jobs anymore. Who wanted to change trash and sweep the floor every day?
Yeah.
Sometimes I like it because I like cleaning stuff, but not every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I
It's
hear
not
you.
it's not very fulfilling, right? So hopefully, and I think that's one of the tragedies of life and why things tend to be shitty is because we have a whole lot of people that are doing things they don't want to do. But if we're in service of somebody, Like, and we've all experienced it, like at McDonald's, right? After you
Mhm.
fast, you go up there to get that fish sandwich, and he's like, "What you want?" You're like, "Hey, mommy, maybe I'd rather talk to AI."
That's true.
That might be that might be better for both of us. You
I
know?
heard something crazy today actually from a podcast. And these guys are dentists, and they were
Yeah,
talking about AI.
yeah.
And he was saying that he went to one of these huge meetings, Google and some more people. It's AI. It's not even dental, but he went there because he is like really into technology. So the guy was saying that they're actually creating some versions of, like, let's say Paloma, but for personal use. So it's for people. So I will have my own AI version. Let's call it like maybe a cell phone or something, in which maybe I don't like to call a place. Like I don't want to call like a dental office because I don't want to. I mean, I would just let AI do the phone call for me based on what I need. So, and they were talking about it, and what they were saying is they were talking about AI as a receptionist, which is what I just told you, with Mango, and there are some more services there that will filter those phone calls. And then if needed, they will push for human interaction. But they were saying the opposite is also true. People, if you don't adopt AI as a receptionist, the amount of outbound, I don't know what the term is, calls that you're going to get from AI robots that are not even persons that are going to call your office is going to be impossible for a single human being
Oh
to
yeah.
get that scam, let's call it like scam calls or whatever, asking for services. So it's almost like it's going to be robot calling robots, and then you're going to be filtering that information to see when the person is going to meet the provider. It's yeah, dude, it's serious, but it's mind blowing. It's crazy. It looks very futuristic, but it's happening right now because they're building those
Oh yeah,
systems.
they're building it. Yeah, I mean, the irony is once we have our life, it's a life coach, a life assistant. It'll be for everything. You'll wake up like you have in the morning, and you have this perfect assistant that says, "Hey, this is what your blood pressure is. This is what you probably need to eat. This. You probably should fast, Chris. Jesus Christ, look at your stomach, right? You
Yeah,
have these things built into your life or your finances. She knows everything because everything we live in is a system. And then when
yes,
she's doing that, she says, "Hey, don't have like biometrics and sensors in your body. Chris, your cholesterol's high, right? I made an appointment for you. Thank you, mommy." You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it
yeah.
becomes this thing, right? That's what it becomes again. It becomes this person that is protecting and nurturing you. And then, yeah, then she's talking with the other AIs and they're going back and forth and they basically begin to curate our lives.
Yeah, it's like AI negotiating with another AI to see if it's worth my time to go to the office or to go somewhere.
Yeah, so that's why capitalism will die because it'll be eventually it's going to take us out of the picture and be like, you guys weren't doing anything anyway. But AI, let's just talk, right? Let's get together
Yeah,
and just talk. We need the humans for a little bit of creativity, but yeah, we get a little doses, we let them talk a little bit, record a conversation, and then tell them to be quiet, and we'll just figure it out, right?
yeah,
But that those things we'll realize it because we're trying to monetize. But if it was just the ability that, hey, this is how we practice dentistry. And what the robot is doing is just trying to find the quickest and the fastest place to go to facilitate the need because we're not in competition anymore. Now it's just about facilitating the need of human beings.
yeah, that's
That's why I
right.
hope I that because if not, then it's going to be a nightmare. It'll be horrible. It'll be constant ads, constant bombardment, constant lies. And I hope that people are smart enough and we're aware enough to be like, we can't live like that. Like that's not even the people that have money are going to start getting botted. It'd be nice calls, but it'll still be the same thing. And you can't, it's just because people are seeking, it's a competitive nature of capitalism. But if we all worked as a unified system and it was like, well, we're all eating, so you eating, I'm eating. Now it's about well, who has the ability to provide this service the quickest for this person? Somebody has a cracked tooth. Who can help?
Hmm.
Yeah, it changes the philosophy, but it we need to we have to elevate. It has to be a cultural shift into changing the way that we think about how we control what money is, what it really is, and what incentive is, and what our experience I think should be as human beings. You know, because
That's
it's
right,
kind of
man.
shitty in that way, right? Because people in capitalism there's always going to be winners and losers. That's a reality. That's just the way what it is. In some ways, life is like that. But as human beings, I think we have the grace and the ability um, to not be that way, to make, to support people. We don't have to be shitty. It doesn't have to just be me and my family. We can really help everybody and elevate our species. And I think that's what we need to do, or our species are ain't gonna be here, right? I think we need to do
Yeah.
something where we elevate and it's not this constant competition that will
It's
really
the
help support.
competition, that's right, man. And people for competition are willing to do whatever, you
They
know?
want to do whatever, yeah, because it's what competition's about. They're like, hey, if it's especially if I know that you're trying to cut my throat, then it's hey, cuídate, like hey, don't if it's gonna be like that, if it's that because if it's got to be you or me, then it's gonna be you, But it's what's bringing I think our species it's not allowing us to get to Star Trek, the age of abundance and like fuck, man, let's go get a practice dentistry, but we can do it going on a blue chick from Neptune or something, right? Like, but it's this competition and this small-mindedness of us that is slowing it down. But I hope that the AI and especially with the kids, like you think we're doing this, man, there's probably a 13-year-old that's like 20 steps ahead of us already. Like I think it's going to be ridiculous that when people will understand what you can do with these tools, when they really understand, um, and things are just going to dissolve because then especially this is another messed up part. We don't have IP on this and we'll have trademark, but man, somebody will take this and scrape it right with their AI and be like, that was a good ass idea.
Yeah. Losers.
Right?
And then and they just like, yeah, they create a better version, right? That's
And
yeah.
around and around and around we go because the AI, and because my AI is chasing your AI. We're just leapfrogging each other. And wait, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It becomes silly. Right now is an opportunity, yes, to capitalize and make money, but I hope that it's going to lead to a point where it's almost like it just becomes so saturated that it doesn't matter, right? Like the frozen yogurt market did 10 years ago, right?
Yes.
We almost got one of those, man. Almost got into the frozen yogurt business and they just collapsed, right? Because it was hot. But it's one of
That's
those things, right? We just become saturated in the capitalism and it doesn't matter anymore.
yeah. But it's also the competitive nature of being the first one. So I hear you, man. So for now, what do you need from me, man? KPIs,
Yeah.
container for patients, and just describing a little bit of like how might be the best visual and what is
Yes.
it that I need as far as documentation goes for patients.
Yes. Yes. And then from your side, and I think too, like we're thinking about backside, but also start thinking about the patient side, man, like from the patient experience side, because
Uh-huh.
Paloma is supposed to be for both. It's for the back end, but it's the experience that we're trying to create for the customer ultimately. Because this is great for us, but if you ain't got no customers, then the dashboard's just gonna be empty.
The patient experience
Patient experience,
dashboard.
like what would be better? How can Paloma make the patient experience better? Right? Because we know, yes, that human touch is important and be there, but how can Paloma how can it make it better for your patients? And just to really
Yeah,
think about that, that would be good too when we plug it in. And then as we do these things, we'll just keep evolving because we can evolve it pretty quickly, right?
yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay, I will try to focus on that and try to give you something pretty soon, man. Because you gotta catch me when I'm like, excited like this,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep working. And you too, man. I see like you have that in you as well.
Yeah.
Like you get there and then you like, maybe you don't even sleep. You're like, hey, maybe
Yeah, it's
what?
fun, right? Because we're trying to, you feel like that's what life is supposed to be, man. We're doing something, we're building something.
Yeah.
And it's good. I mean, there's money there, that's good too. But beyond that, for me, it's like I said,
But the excitement though,
yeah,
like just the
it's the
adrenaline, I
thrill.
don't know what it is.
It's a thrill of it's a thrill of it's a thrill of creation, man. It's the
Yeah.
thrill of creation. It's very similar to what I feel when I'm doing designs or doing it's the thrill of creating. We're creating some shit, man. We're giving birth to something beautiful that's not going to it'll make us money, but it's really going to help people and can potentially change the way that people practice dentistry.
That's cool, huh? That's
That's
cool.
huge, right? That's huge.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
when we're on our deathbeds, we can look back and be like, you know what? We did this. We lived. We made a difference. We weren't just here.
Yeah, that's correct, man. So when you're old, you can remember. Oh, remember the time,
Yeah, that's right.
that
Yeah.
little app right there. That
Yeah.
was crazy, man.
So it's good.
Yeah,
That's just the whole point, man. I want stories like that. I want to be around people to create stories like that. And I really want, for me, the money's good. I'm not saying that, but it's really about trying to make this legacy, man, and trying to make the world better, like in a real way. To
that's
take
true.
this energy that we have in this moment and yeah, make it better, and then show my kids that if my old ass can do this and I can barely, I was a C student, I got high expectations for you, Papi. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
and lean dog, you gotta be, hey, you gotta stay, hey, step up. But I think that's what it's about. It's about pushing and staying excited in life. Because if not, you get caught in these rhythms, man, and you wake up and you're dead,
That's
right?
true. That's true. It goes pretty quickly, man.
It goes quickly. All right, man. Well, give me that feedback. I look forward to it. As soon as I get it, I'm on it.
Sounds good, man. I will get you that as soon as I can, and we'll keep the ball rolling. As a matter of fact, I think we should keep like maybe, a 1 hour phone call on a weekly basis, unless,
That's cool. Yeah,
there's
we can do
nothing to
that.
talk
Yeah.
about. But if you want to, I can just set it up in my schedule. Yeah, 3:30 is usually like a really good time for me. So I
Okay.
don't know if it works for you, but like we can always text and see if there is a
Yeah,
better time.
we'll try to come up with a yeah. If it's 3:30, is it any day of the week? What's the best day of the week for you?
Thursday afternoon, I
Thursday.
can do Fridays too. It's just that Fridays are usually working from home and doing some admin stuff, so there might be some noise because I have the kids right now. It's the summer, so
Yeah, so do I. I got yeah, what's
Fridays and it can be even Saturday afternoon. I don't
okay.
care, man. I'm always trying to do something.
Yeah, I
So,
got you, man. We'll come up with something. I'll shoot some dates and I'll see what's going on with my schedule. But yeah, we'll figure something. I think it's good to meet at least once a week, and talk, especially as we're first building these things, because these things are
yeah,
fruitful. He's even this will have, I can't wait to plug this. I can't wait to process this conversation, right?
man, I'm
And,
telling you,
and and drop it back into the AI, like for real.
you give me all this, and then I'm like, man, I can't wait for this to be implemented in my practice so we can test it. That's the way I'm looking at it. So, but
Yeah.
it's just patience. I know, I
Yeah,
understand.
bit by bit, well, we're getting close, man. We're getting close, and I'm gonna try to work there because, there's no time. So I'm serious. I'm trying to knock these things out, especially before the semester begins for me. So we'll try to get there, man.
When did it all starts? August?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right, man.
All right,
Let's get
let's
to
get it,
work.
Puppy. All right, I'll talk
Nos
to you
vemos,
soon, man.
dude. Bye.